After living for most of my adult life with trauma, chronic pain, and you name it, here's what I want to say versus what I actually have to say. What I want to say is, shouldn't my body just work? Like, shouldn't I be able to live as a human being and participate in external activities? You know, work, running around, playing games and sports, dating, going to the movies, you know, normal things. Shouldn't I be able to do those things rather than spending my entire life focusing on breath work and healing and therapy and trauma work and spending all of my time trying to figure out how to make my pain levels lessen, how to make my pain levels lower so that I can then pay attention to other things besides the pain. Shouldn't it just work? I mean, we evolved. And so that's what I want to say. What I actually have to say is nothing. There's a weird little hair there. What I actually have to say is just accept it. Just accept it and just keep accepting it. And no one is going to hear your story. Yeah, there might be people that might say, oh, yeah, totally, I resonate. But no one is going to hear your story. Even if they do, it'll be fleeting. What actually matters is fully accepting the situation, no matter what you think it is. Doesn't matter. You could be in objectively the worst situation. You could be the worst off out of all the 8 billion people on the planet. Your life could be, I don't even want to say that. You can't make comparisons. It just doesn't do any good. If I had to spend the last 2 years being completely isolated and in so much pain, yeah, I could hire people to make some amazing documentary about my life and make people cry, or donate money to me to help me pay for medical expenses. But more often than not, what we really need to do is just stop talking about it and just accept it. Just accept it, because any amount of resistance to that is just going to make it worse. I don't know why I didn't get to live a normal life or a happy life, or any of my potential wasn't fulfilled. I don't know why that is. I mean, I have my suspicions, but it shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be, that's what I want to say, is it shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't be this hard. And yet it is. And that's life sandwich. That's a life sandwich. It shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And I wish that I could express that or do something to make it feel okay. You know, you don't have to, no one is thinking about these things when their life is going well. But mine hasn't been going well for so long that my entire life just is this. And by this, I just mean the pain and resistance to the pain. It's like, yeah, I mean, I went for a walk just now for a mile in the woods, which was great. It was really fun. But also, I was in pain the whole time, and I had to walk very specifically so that it wouldn't hurt too much. And did I notice what was around me? Not really, because looking around hurts. And I just really need to focus on my body. But I did get to, it's like, look on the bright side. You went for a walk. That's what you want, right? To be able to, anyway, could be worse. You could just be stuck in a wheelchair. And if you're in a wheelchair, it could be worse. You could be stuck in a bed. And if you're stuck in a bed, it could be worse. You could be in a coma. So it's always could be worse. I mean, coma, well, that might be for some people a relief. Depends on what it's actually like, because I've not been in one, but I don't know. And so I don't know. It could be actually crappy, creepy, terrifying, weird, like a really long dream that you don't wake up from. I don't know. It could be like that, in which case I'm sorry. But maybe you're just floating out there in outer space having a good time when you're in a coma, and you come back here and you realize, oh, wait a minute, I have to be in this again? Yeesh. So anyway, that's what I wish I could say. I wish I could just say, and I am saying it, but not really. This isn't really effective. The only way to get through something is to let it go and never complain. And I don't mean that in some kind of like brutish kind of way, like to ignore your problems. I just mean truly, you actually just have to go through it. And even if it destroys you, even if it completely takes everything away from you in your life, and even if it ruins you and all of your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, you still just, if you really want to be accepting, you just go through it anyway. That's the real piece, is you don't get to choose whether, I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you do get to choose whether your life is amazing or not. Maybe you do get to choose whether you have health or not, or lots of money or not, or you live on, you're homeless. Maybe you live on the street. Maybe you get to choose. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. It doesn't seem like you do. It seems like it's kind of just up to where you're born and how your living situation is and luck and all these things. But maybe you do get to choose. I'm not going to say. Life seems to be so hard and it seems to be this one way, but then what if it's not? What if it's another way? What if it really is? What's so interesting is language is so limiting, because all the language and all the society and culture, we live in this toxic culture that's just like all the same words and all the same kind of concepts that just hedge us in to this one particular form. But it could really be anything. Even the words describe reality, right? And reality is what it is, right? Gravity is gravity. Things always fall to the earth. But do they? Or do they float? Maybe they float. We don't actually know. We really don't actually know. Maybe light is actually very light. Maybe it's very light. We don't know. We don't know what we inhabit. Are we in the earth? Are we grounded? Yeah. Are we also something, and also maybe something else? Maybe there's other things. Maybe people have out-of-body experiences. Maybe that's real. Maybe that's real or as real than being in body. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to just be open-minded and be flexible rather than rigid. Like, oh no, this is how it's got to be in my body and it hurts and this has to be the way that it is. Like, that has been my experience so far. But the story is not over yet. Even though every day it fucking sucks. But it's not over yet. And so, yeah, I'm just trying so damn hard to find any motivation or positivity to keep going, because I just don't want to give up. I just feel like I deserve to be here and I deserve to have a good shot at it. Maybe I had a good shot and I messed it up, but I don't think so. Because I don't think when you're a child and you're born and things seem great and then people tell you to kill yourself, I don't think that's a good shot. I think that that's unfortunate. And when you're a child and you're born, that was my situation. You know, other people, I'm not going to speak to what it's like to be born into, my ancestors were born into, you know, genocide, things like that. But that wasn't my personal experience. Mine was more just, you know, you suck, we hate you, you're stupid, you're a loser, kill yourself, etc. Like that's not what you want. That's not a fun time. And it didn't get better. They always say, oh, it gets better. Well, it didn't get better. It hasn't gotten better yet, but it's going to. Delusional optimism. That is my strategy. Delusional optimism. Even if what you're seeing here, maybe it's not like this. Maybe it's just the most decrepit, disgusting, horrible situation, or not. Maybe it's, was that spit on my mouth? I don't know. I think I need water though, actually. I haven't had some water in a while. Wow, my shoulder looks so like angular in that moment. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. I can't remember what I said, but I'm sure it was good.